What's up, Knights? Welcome to the first ever Cafeteria school food mukbang, starting off the new year right. This is really just going to be me reviewing the food and giving you guys some advice for the next school year, you freshmen, and what I'm honestly expecting from the new school year going into my senior year. So let's just get started with all this delicious food. Mm. You know, I always thought the sweet potato fries were a lot better than the regular potato fries, especially when they're crispy. Like sometimes, like maybe not this one's not the best example, but if you can find a really nice crispy one, nah, it's a good crispy one. If you can find a nice crispy sweet potato fry, they usually it's rare because sometimes these aren't like the I just like the natural flavor of sweet potato more than the normal potato. And I will say these are a lot more crispy than normal fries, but they don't compare to the flavor of the sweet potato fries. Both are amazing, but very solid contenders for a side. Sweet potato fries are good too. Definitely missing some ketchup with both. I think ketchup elevates any type of fry. But I think the sweet potato fries are definitely better than normal fry. And while I'm on the topic, can I just say crinkle fries? So Dexa, you did a great job because crinkle fries, top two fry, top three fry maybe. Like you got best fry shape I'm talking about. You got shoestring, like the little McDonald's fries, you know what I'm talking about. Then you got these fries, the crinkle fries. You can find them at I know grocery stores usually sell these a lot, more than any other kind of fry. Um, Waffle fries are good too. Chick-fil-A has amazing waffle fries. But overall, love the sweet potato fries. I'm going to say the normal fries, very solid contender. Very good, both sides. By the way, none of this food is going to waste. This will be used, whatever food I don't eat here, because I am a relatively large individual, but I'm not so large that I can finish all of this. I do have a daily calorie intake that I'm trying to maintain. And any food that is not finished here will be, for lack of better words, recycled for the journalism room. So no food here is going to waste. Don't worry about that. Moving on to the drink, I really appreciate how the school here, I've noticed they usually rock with zero sugar drinks, diet drinks. They have zero sugar root beer, Coke Zero, zero sugar Mountain Dew, all very good. I can't honestly think of a single drink that I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna eat that again. Even like they have drinks for everyone. Like if you're a caffeine guy, they got Kickstart for you. If it's like late, if it's early in the morning and you gotta wake yourself up, Kickstart's right there. Um, and if you're thinking of more like a fruity, if you're thinking of more of like fruity, lighter taste, I would definitely go with the Mountain Dew. And if I remember correctly, the Coke Zero, very similar to Coke. I've always been more of a Coke Zero kind of guy. I know there's a debate going on whether Coke Zero or Diet Coke. Personally, I've always been more of a Coke Zero guy. I like the flavor of Coke more than anything, but the sugar, it's so much sugar in a single Coca-Cola. You can't have more than one without causing some major damage over time. And I think Coke Zero really encapsulates the flavor of a normal Coke way better than a Diet Coke does. Diet Coke has great flavor too, but Coke Zero, I think undisputed champ when it comes to Diet Cokes. Coke has so many diet sodas. I know they have a caffeine-free version too. I've seen that floating around. If you're into that, if you don't like caffeine, go for it. That tastes just like Coke Zero. But that being said, both of these drinks amazing. The cafeteria offers a wide variety of drinks. They've got Mountain Dew, Coca-Cola, zero sugar Sprite, zero sugar root beer. It's all zero sugar because we're healthy over here. We don't want to eat too much sugar nowadays, especially with growing concerns and more research coming out. That's always important. Make sure don't eat too much sugar, guys. And now we're going to move on to the main topic of conversation today, which are the 5 incredible entrees that I have here today. We're going to be looking at the specialty of the week, which is the barbecue burger with provolone cheese, crispy onions, and barbecue sauce. Looks very good. I'm very excited to try that. the spicy chicken sandwich, and there's a debate going on whether you should the spicy chicken sandwich or the normal chicken sandwich is better. Personally, I think they're both amazing. I think they both serve very different purposes, but I got to go with the normal chicken sandwich. I mean, I think both have a very moderate crunch. Both are very well seasoned. Both have great chicken flavor. They're not being overpowered by the bread or the crunch. You can definitely taste the chicken. And if you want to add pickles or lettuce, tomatoes, ketchup, mustard, etc., you can get that at the condiment stand. To my left, right over there in front of the night cafeteria, and honestly, I think both of these just on their own are very great. And I think if you added something to it to make it, more unique to you, you can definitely have a great lunch with just one of these chicken sandwiches or both, if that's how you're feeling. Let's start with the classic, the staple, the chicken sandwich. Mm. Mhm. Mm. Mm. Interesting. I will say, prior to recording, this has been sitting for a couple minutes, but I will say the sandwiches are just the slightest a bit dry, which is not really an issue when you have these amazing zero sugar calorie drinks. And also, I just want to circle back to the drinks real quick, but if you're not a big fan of soda, and I know I've really only been talking about soda, but if you're not a big fan of soda, that's perfectly fine. They have bottled water, they have sweet tea for you guys. I'm looking over here, they got Body Armor drinks for people who need their electrolytes. They have literally everything in store for you. The school has been very kind, and really, especially with this new school that came in not too long ago, they've really offered a wide range of variety for anyone, and you can find literally anything here if you're looking for it. So, very solid contender. I like the very natural chicken flavor there. It doesn't feel like super processed like other fast food chains you might see or grocery store brands where it feels like synthetic, rubbery kind of. It feels like a natural chicken breast, and it feels very real. And I like the whole wheat bun as well. I've always been a big fan of whole wheat buns. I think they have more flavor than like the regular white bread or any other type of chicken patty bun you might be thinking of right now. Overall, I give this chicken patty out of a tier list ranking, S being the best, D being the worst. I give this a I give it a B tier. It's a very solid, just mainstream. Can't really go wrong with it. Moving on to we're gonna move on to the spicy chicken sandwich. That seems much more fitting. Spicy chicken sandwich. Oh. Excuse me. Hmm, that's interesting. I think the spicy, of course, has a lot more flavor. So I don't run out of breath here. I think the spicy has a lot more flavor. I think if you're not a huge spice guy, like me, I'm not the biggest spice guy. I will say it is like the slightest bit of like a little bit of zip, but not overpowering. Kind of washes away pretty quickly. The flavor overall, the flavor profile, I would say is much stronger on the spicy, but I think just the general consistency and um, versatility of the normal chicken sandwich, I think really carries it here. When I look at both of these great sandwiches, I think if I if I could make which if I could add toppings to make either of these better, which one would taste best with their unique toppings? And I honestly think the normal chicken sandwich would work better with more toppings than I think the spicy would. I think the spicy is a little bit more situational. I think the spicy it's harder to adapt to what you're feeling that day, and I think you obviously could eat the chicken patty any day of the week and it would be great. That being said, both very solid. I give the chicken sandwich a B tier, and I do really love the flavor on the spicy chicken sandwich. And even though I've been always more of a normal chicken sandwich guy, and I know I've just been talking about how the versatility of normal chicken sandwich, I think the spicy chicken sandwich, just the overall flavor, just strictly flavor, strictly texture, how I'm feeling right now, I gotta give the spicy chicken an A tier. So right now we're sitting at normal chicken sandwich, B tier, spicy chicken sandwich, A tier. I did not mention the fries, but I will give the sweet potato fry an S tier side. I think the sweet potato fry is the best. It's the best side, especially when you find them, especially when you can find a good crispy fry, like, mm, especially when you can find a good crispy fry with some nice crunch. Definitely an S tier. Normal potato fry, I give it a B tier. It's like the chicken sandwich. It's like the normal chicken patty of the fry world. It's normal, perfectly fine baseline. Can work with literally any palate. Baja Blast Mountain Dew, I give it an A tier. I really like that fruity flavor, and the zero sugar, honestly, I think adds more flavor, and I think that's really great. Coke Zero, I've always been more of a Coke Zero guy, but I've honestly never been much of a Coke guy in general, so I'm gonna give this a D tier because it's good, but it's not really what I'm looking for. Moving on, actually, we're gonna save the special for last. Moving on, we're gonna try the cheeseburger. Hmm. That is really good. Mind you, none of these burgers or sandwiches or fries or drinks or whatever, none of them have toppings or anything that could change the flavor in any way. This is purely as unbiased as a review as I can get. I know I just said the spicy chicken sandwich is better than the chicken sandwich just because I'm biased, but I think overall the spicy chicken sandwich is better. Anyway, I think unbiased review, no toppings, no anything. I think this is the best natural tasting sandwich I've had so far up to this point. I think all the sandwiches have been great so far, but I think this has the best natural flavor. I think this might have the worst versatility when it comes to adding more toppings. Like I can't see myself adding. Actually, I was about to say I can't see myself adding toppings to it, but honestly, you can add really anything to a cheeseburger. Overall, I give the cheeseburger an S tier so far. That has been an amazing addition to what I've had so far. Chicken sandwich B tier, A tier. Overall, amazing so far. I'm having a great time. We're gonna move on to the school cafeteria pizza. Zero flop. Uh, as Dave Portnoy would say, we're gonna have one bite review. Let's see how this goes. Hmm. Now I showed you earlier, but if you look at that pizza, there is absolutely zero droppage in the pizza, and you really taste that when you try it. There's a nice, really like crisp breading right here, and I think that really elevates the texture of the pizza. I think the tomato sauce being a more kind of creamy, smooth texture really helps the overall um, flavor. And I think the cheese is honestly very solid, very evenly spread. There's not huge bites where I'm getting like cheese on like one side of my mouth and not a lot of cheese on the other side. It feels very evenly dispersed, and I think the cheese tastes kind of like mozzarella, if I'm not mistaken. It does taste very solid. Let's try the crust real quick. That was pretty good. Uh, as I was saying earlier, this food has been sitting out for a little bit, so I'm not going to judge. I do think it's just the tiniest a bit dry, just a little bit. Overall, though, very good. The flavor of the crust is actually very solid. Hmm. And overall, just measuring how I feel about the actual pizza and the crust, I think overall this is a very, very solid piece of pizza. Um, it really does nothing wrong. It's not going to be a five-star Michelin restaurant, but it is very good, and I could see myself eating a bunch of these and still having the appetite to go longer because this is very solid. Mm. That is very good. Now, we've kind of gotten through the four main entrees that you will find every single day in the cafeteria lunchroom. These will always be there, to my knowledge. They've never not been there, and these will always be the consistent choices. If you ever don't like the weekly choice of the traveling food that they do, which is also a very fun addition. Like this week, they're doing the ramen food for the week, and I think that's very interesting. And they sometimes do some special fried chicken, or they do this Mexican street food style video, or Mexican street food style food, and I think that also tastes very good. Honestly, I haven't had anything from the cafeteria that tastes necessarily bad. It all tastes pretty amazing, and overall, very solid piece of pizza. Does nothing wrong. It's very good. I give that an A tier. Moving on, the long-awaited special barbecue provolone, excuse me, cheeseburger. So we got here. Mm, that is really good. So far, this is the one thing we've had that has toppings with the cheese and the crispy onions, and the crispy onions very well seasoned, very salted, very adds a lot of flavor to the actual sandwich. I think the crispy onions are evenly dispersed as well. They're not like all in one area. They're spread throughout the whole sandwich evenly, adding a nice even flavor. The provolone cheese right under it is very nice, very smooth. I always have been a fan of provolone cheese. I think that's been the best cheese of all time. Better than mozzarella, better than cheddar, Gouda, whatever you got. I think provolone takes the cake. And I think overall that's very good. I think the barbecue sauce also really adds a lot of kick to this. I think that's very good. Very strong contender. I think we get one more bite of this real quick. Mm, yeah. Yeah, that sweet barbecue sauce really adds a lot of flavor to this. I think I've never really had this because they change out the specials every week or so. And I think this is honestly the best special I've had so far. The onion barbecue cheeseburger, very, very good. And overall, I don't want to keep you guys waiting for too long. None of this food is going to waste. Either I or the journalism team will be eating the rest of this. None of this food is going to waste. I've had a great time with you guys. Overall, my rankings right now with the entrees, I'm going from best to worst. I'm going chicken sandwich. Very versatile, but bland. At the end of the day, it's a chicken sandwich. It's not supposed to fill everything. It's supposed to be something that tastes great with toppings, and you can make unique to yourself. I think if you add unique toppings that fit your style, it could absolutely be the best thing here. So I'm going the normal chicken sandwich, and then I think I'm gonna go. These are all actually really good. I'm gonna go the cheeseburger, very strong as well. I think does very really really good in what it's trying to do. The beef is not it's not like a stale thing. It kind of melts in your mouth. It's like a it's not cooked medium rare, but it is very very like tender and melts in your mouth. Sorry, the bell got me there. I think the cheese is very melty as well, and I think all of that just kind of creates a nice texture of flavoring that melts in your mouth very nicely. And then I think I'm gonna go the spicy chicken sandwich. Very, very strong, building off the chicken sandwich very well, and just no toppings for no toppings. I think spicy chicken sandwich takes the cake. Overall, very good. Reminder: if you're not a huge spice guy, just a tiny bit zippy. Maybe have like a cup of water when you eat it, just in case. Or and then I think number one entree or number two entree I should say is the cheese pizza. Zero flop, very nice crust overall, very crunchy. Mm. It does everything you should be looking for in a pizza very well. I can't name a single thing that's like, oh, the crust or the undercarriage or the cheese or whatever. It's all incredible. And then the number one thing I gotta say is this barbecue cheeseburger. Mm. That is really strong. I do love that barbecue sauce. I don't know what kind of barbecue sauce to use, maybe honey barbecue, but that is really good. If you're not a big, if you're not even a big onion guy, like I'm not a huge onion guy, I oftentimes take onions off my burger, but this was really, really solid. And it was very good, very well seasoned too. It doesn't really taste like an onion per se. It's not. It's a cooked onion, so that's how you know it's good. Mm. I could eat three of those right now. That is very good. Then I'm gonna put. So that's the rankings for the entrees, best to worst. The drinks, just from what I had, I'm gonna say the Mountain Dew is the best. Coke Zero, very very slightly behind. My favorite drink here, I do not have it on me, but the best drink in the cafeteria, in my opinion, is the Gold Leaf sweet tea. I think that is, I think that is by far the best drink here. I think just it's very smooth, it's very refreshing, it's very tasty. Go ahead and try that out if you have not tried that yet. That is definitely one of the best drinks in the world. I would say the sweet tea is incredible here. Mm, yeah, and the sweet potato, especially when the sweet potatoes are on, like when they're crispy, they're ready to go. They are definitely the best side we got here. There's of course broccoli if you're into that, or normal fries. They have smiley fries sometimes, which are also a nice fun addition. Don't taste too different from the normal fry, but the smiley fries are definitely a lot softer. These have more of a crunch, I would say. This is my ranking. Thank you for joining me today. Maybe we can do another episode in the future, but this has been the FHN official food ranking by Ben Bartels. Thank you for joining me today. I am Ben Bartels, signing off.